Feel me? Make sure we good. If you can hear it. We on KC Priest. Okay.
Yeah, we good.
We good? All right, con. All right, man. Shalom.
Yeah, we good.
First thing and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rule Will. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. We have Akim here at GMS Kansas City. We're doing our little Shabbat sit down, going into prophecy, current events, you know, the usual things, the MOTB. We had an article pulled up, and you can read the title of it, brother Uriah, since you got it pulled up.
Con. The title of it is The Social Credit System, CSQR, SM, and U.
All right. And that's basically based on a social credit system. Give me 1 second, brother Salakia. But yeah, y'all can speak on it real quick. I just want to put this on Do Not Disturb.
That social credit system, man, that shit's a motherfucker, you know. Basically, it's going into it's leading up into the mark of the beast. But the things that they have planned in this article just goes to show they've been planning this for a long time, you know, especially with the whole pandemic that happened leading up to this point. You know, they're going to have different classes to put categories people's in, you know, and if anything you say or whatever you say, they can put you in a certain, I believe it's CR. There's a couple other classes that's on there. But basically, if you're not in class S, you know, you're fucked. You know, you're going to have a cap of not allowed more than like $1,000 in your bank account, you know. So a lot of these people, man, they with the system and they with whatever Esau comes out with. And when that happens, they're going to be in for a very, very rude awakening, you know, because right now there's all types of reports coming out too of people going to ATMs and they're not allowed to get any cash out. So we basically right there, they're gonna start implementing this shit.
Yeah, because did y'all brothers hear about the Bank of America thing when people were trying to get their money out and they couldn't get their money out?
Yeah, a lot of people are missing $1,400 out their account too. A lot of people just got $1,400 snatched out and they ain't paying it back. They said, you know, hey, there's nothing we can do about it. You got a whole line up the damn door. People, it all happens to the same people. You know, so that collapse is coming. They're calling it the Great Reset.
Right. Yeah, because they was talking about, like, I think in time they had like 12 weeks because you remember they supposed to did the whole December 13th, 2022 thing because Biden signed that back in March last year. So they mentioned the 12-week rollouts. I want to say like the end of November. And if you go into 12 weeks, it's 4, 8, 12. That's roughly 3 months. So they was talking about by March or possibly April that they can have some of these systems up and running. And I know Bank of America was one of the top ones that they was going to start testing these digital infrastructures on. So it's no coincidence that these people that was having their money taken from them and Bank of America turned a blind eye to it because one dude, he stated that he was negative $813 in debt because they snatched his money and didn't even want to pay the overdraft fees for him. So this system is getting ready to be put on wax, and this current system with this dollar is getting ready to be moved out the way, you know, because you do the research, every dollar bottoms out within 100 years or so, and we've been over that 100-year mark because the establishment of the Fed came into fruition in 1913, and we're clearly past that. So they're getting ready to bring out this new system, which is going to lead to the CHIP. And that's when all you gainsayers, you scoffers and scorners are going to be confounded in that day. All right.
Well, they're meeting right now during this week with the WEF, you know, basically discussing this openly, man. You know, they have like, when they set up these meetings, they have basically like the agenda and all of that shit posted. And they're just openly talking about how we're going to implement the CBDCs, you know, how we're going to get more power into our hands and out of the everyday working man's hand. And this shit's backfiring on Esau too, man. You know, it's like they ruined the whole term conspiracy theories now because everyone's basically coming true.
God.
If you could, Baba Kashab, with your Ra on that article, could you go down to the second quotation box after it says, "Okay, so what is the financial reset?" Just to kind of get the spirit going off exactly what they plan on doing, because this is going to be that's going to be the first big punch to society when they start this shit.
Yeah, can I read a precept real quick?
Yeah,
God.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 11. It says, "Wisdom is good with an inheritance. By it there is profit to them that see the sun." Or Slakia. It says, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it." And what we're about to go into is how they're about to alter the financial system. And when people don't have defenses stored up, especially nowadays, because the money is not tangible, the money is just numbers on a computer screen. So when people don't have tangible assets and a defense, they become more submissive to the ones that are issuing that out. Because back in the ancient world, you can have storehouses full of gold and nobody can tell you shit. Now here you're relying on getting that money on a screen to put food in your kids' mouths, to make things happen in your life. And at any point moment, as this article details, you can have one number on the screen, but your behavior and how you act in the world would change the whole different number in your bank account.
Yeah. But I'll read it here. It says, "Okay, so what is the financial reset? The financial reset will be a complete restructuring of the current system, eliminating all existing fiat currencies overnight." It says the CSRQSM software will intercept all banking transactions, all credit and debit card transactions, and all known financial transactions over a period of 3 to 5 days once the system is activated.
Hey, so they already got this technology set up to shut it down just in 3 to 5 days of intercepting all transactions and making it none and void. All right, because your fiat currency is definitely the dollar bill.
Yeah.
So all these people are not going to be able to access none of their money. And depending on what class you're placed in, you may only have $1,000 access to $1,000, and that's your cap from here on out.
God. Well, I got a definition for the term fiat currency. It says inconvertible paper money made legal tender by a government decree. Now we know a decree is a law, right? So if they decree, like it tells you in Isaiah the 10th chapter, woe to them that declare unrighteous decrees. So basically, this is a system based on usury and taxing the people, because even a lot of people that's converging over to this new system, their debts are going to transfer, but yet they're losing their wealth behind it. Show how much of a demon Esau is. And it says, why is it called fiat currency? It says the term is derived from Latin word fiat, which means determination by authority. And who is the authority figure in the system? Esau, Edom, the elites, the bankers. It says in this case, it's the government that decrees the value of the currency, and it isn't representative of another asset or financial instrument such as gold or a check, meaning it ain't being backed by shit. Meaning just out of thin air, like the brother went into printing money out of thin air. Like when you go to a bank, and let's just say if you got $10,000 in your account, those are not 10,000 physical dollars in your account. They're just money on the screen. That's why a lot of times they're reluctant to give you cash, and they ask you, what do you need the cash for? Because they don't have it. Because the minute that your money enters their account, they loan it out or they dish it out to finance wars, weaponry, whatever projects they may deem necessary. So technically your money is not even in a bank. It's basically they got to write an IOU. So that's what these people found out when that Bank of America crash hit, because that's not the first time that shit happened. They've been going through that for some time now, getting ready to roll the system out. Because if you look at what happened in India when they went current, like digital, they did that shit in a matter of 4 or 5 hours, and it was a done deal. So this can be done in a matter of hours or days, or perhaps over a weekend. You know, because if you go back to that show, The X Files, when they rebooted it back in 2016, they told you a global financial collapse and a switching over of currencies will happen on a Friday, and by Monday, everybody would be under this new system. You know.
Yeah, and they can do it. That's what Web3 has been about, man. It's been a giant psyop. Cryptocurrencies going up and down, NFTs, Internet of Things. All of these things are part of the new Web3 model that Esau has, that is part of that blockchain technology. So he's gotten the whole world familiar with the technology, you know, already, and it's already built up, man. Like that whole thing with what was it, SBF or FTX? That whole thing was basically set up to crash the crypto markets, man. So people are going to convert change all of those wallets over to this new central bank one, man. And once that shit happens, he can shut down whatever he wants. He can control whatever, what every dollar or credit or whatever the unit's going to be. You know, he can control it entirely.
Well, I got a precept here. The book of Proverbs 28, and I'm gonna start at verses 7. Matter of fact, let's start at I'm gonna jump around a little bit. This is the book of Proverbs 28, and I'm gonna start at verses 3. It says, "A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain, which leaveth no food." Now, Esau by nature is a peasant, okay? He's a servant, but he's assumed the position of power of a tyrant on the planet Earth because the Lord elevated him to that position for prophecy's sake. But it says, "A poor man." Anybody got any interference? If you got any interference, just mute it until you speak, because it's kind of interfering with the feed. Whoever got that going on in the background.
You still hear it?
Not now.
Okay.
All right. Or was it coming from my end? No.
No, you did that.
All right. Well, going back to the precept, it says, "A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain, which leaveth no food," man. Okay, because who is the poor in this situation? Jake and the people are gonna fall victim of the system, because what you're realizing when you go on particular algorithm like Twitter or you go on TikTok, they posting these short clips of these people in their threads, and you're paying attention to what they're speaking about in their threads. They're pissed off at the government, man, because they want people to revolt, because they want to have a reason and some type of crisis to implement this system. That's why the perfect crisis would be the crashing of the dollar, because when they crash the dollar, they can control the narrative from that point. Because like we always specify, mainly people's purpose in America is nothing but bread and circus, straight bread and circus. So when they control the people, they control them by the food and the mirth. So bringing in this digital fiat, this digital currency, which will lead to the MOTB systems, people are going to fall right victim for it, because they're going to push them so far to the point that they're not going to have a choice but to accept it, because these people lack faith. Okay. And it says, "A poor man that oppresseth the poor is like a sweeping rain, which lead no food," man. That's oppression right there. And this is a straight oppressive type setup. Okay. Because even when you go back into the Romans dealt with what? They dealt with the monarch, which deals with the 1% in rulership and coming up and dictating all the laws, man. Okay, same concept in Babylon. It says, "Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things." And this is why through the Spirit, we're understanding this prophecy that's coming to pass, which is going to confound a lot of you Israelites out there, man, because you guys are playing games. You don't want to break down this prophecy correctly. And the Lord is showing you the quiet before the storm through this system. We've always specified that this MOTB will be instituted through them crashing a dollar or some type of monetary crisis. Okay, and shalom to you, Akim, Akwathim, you, Sequanium out there. How about a thumb? All right. Verses 8, it says, "He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, but he should gather it for him that will pity the poor." And when you look up the term usury, it's basically a tax. Okay, when you're adding more penalty to something or to a particular debt. Like if I owe you $100, brother, and you say, "Well, I'll give you to the 15th to pay me back." You don't add tax to that. I pay you back what I owe you. But in Esau's case, he's adding 10%, 15%, 30% to the point you would never get out of debt.
Yeah.
You know?
And now it's coming to the point where it's depending on your behavior if you have ability to operate in this world. Hence the term social credit system. If you're not socially submissive. You know, if you're not a yes man to the doctrines and agenda of what this so-called white man wants to push and wants to promote, as we stated before, he's going to have the ability for you to not put gas in your car, for you to not buy groceries for the week because you went out on the highways and byways, because you did a lesson going into Revelation 13:16. You see what I'm saying? It's coming to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got talking points, and they got particular heads speaking about. I think it was an article that one of the elders brought out. The elder Yashawamba brought it out in his lesson. Basically, it was something I can't recall, but basically what happened was it was like something I believe like out in New York that they're gonna make illegal speaking, basically free speech. So the things that we're speaking now is gonna be considered illegal. So we're not gonna be able to speak these words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai because they got certain talking points set up and they favor to censor this word because they want a world without the truth and a world without faith. That's why it tells you in the Apocrypha, it goes into, it says that the world has been so long without faith have began to be declared. Okay, and Esau wants to put a stop to that, man.
John, I got a precept.
Go ahead, brother.
John, this is the book of Ezekiel 7, verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed.
Mm-hmm.
Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of wrath of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity.
Right, because, you know, from the times that we're getting ready to enter into the hell that's coming on earth, eventually the money is not going to mean a damn thing. Okay, because my thing is this, like, it goes back into a bartering system. When you barter, you basically trading goods and commodities that's going to benefit that person or what may benefit you. Like they say, you know what, take my daughter for a loaf of bread. So silver and gold is not going to do anything in that day because you're not going to have any particular transactions as far as on normalcy that's going to come to fruition for people. Like you ain't going to be able to go to McDonald's or Burger King and say, here's a bar of silver, a bar of gold, give me some food. No, because Esau is going to have everything contained and pretty much rationed out. Those that's under like a positive social credit system or a particular score, they're going to get the, you know, better goods of society, man.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Uriah, if you can read that part where it goes into poultry, it goes poultry and beef. Goes into the insects and shit.
Yeah, it says what do they plan to do with the food system? And then it says it will be dramatically changed and transitioned. Meat from cows and poultry will be banned except for those who are exempt, those who are sovereign. New farms are being...
No, go ahead, Lakia.
It says new farms are being built for crickets, maggots, and other types of bugs that will be harvested for the masses. These proteins will be reformed into familiar types of foods, but will not look or taste the same. Wow, bro.
That's why they want to do away with agriculture. That's why this man has this system set up that farming, the natural way. You notice when you go in the book of Genesis, the Lord basically stated that when the Lord made men, okay, when he made the herbs, when he made the heavens, he says the Most High saw, or the power saw that it was good. Esau was bringing in an artificial way of life because he's basically trying to recreate the story of Genesis again. He's basically trying to rewrite the Most High's program. And that's what this whole digital technocracy is all about. It's basically a left-handed version of the kingdom of heaven dealing with the digital age, man. Because AI is their God now. They don't need Christianity. They don't need Islam. They've played that trump card already. Niggas have been fell for that. But now they're going to deal with digitizing everything, which is basically the new God, man.
And also that playing with the bugs, they already been starting that, because if you research these plant-based proteins and shit like that, like these Impossible burgers and shit like that, it's not really 100% plants. It's made from insects, and a lot of them ain't clean insects either. So that's how they're able to make it taste so close to meat, because they're putting actual insects protein within the meat, you know. And then also they're doing the whole lab-grown meat shit too. Yeah. So it makes sense. What they said with their plan is going to bugs, because they can save the most money with that, and they're already tricking people to eating the shit anyway.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
come.
the
I've seen
fucking
that.
the ready, what's that what's it called, that plant-based Whopper, man? Jay eat that shit, man. You you out of here, man.
Yeah, not the Impossible Whopper. Was it the Impossible Whopper?
Yeah, the Impossible Whopper, man. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, because they was advertising it, man, and they trying to go plant-based. I'm just like, this is retarded, man. Because ain't no way in hell euthanizing cows and goods. And that's not bringing balance back to the earth. Okay, you're creating basically you're creating things that's out of balance. That's why everything is all out of whack. Bad
Right.
enough we eating GMO, and yet you want to feed niggas bugs that's not even lawful. Here, eat a cockroach, eat beetles. I mean, certain beetles are lawful, grasshoppers and so forth like that. But why eat grasshoppers if you ain't got to eat them all the time? Like, that just don't make any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, grasshoppers and beetles are pretty much the only two types of
Yeah.
insects that we could really eat. The
Yep.
rest of them are just they got to do their thing out in nature,
hey, but this how we know these things to be true. I'm gonna play this video on this tablet. It's called more 3D printed steaks coming to Europe.
Ew.
Esau developing the technology of 3D steaks. I heard about this last year, but Spirit brought it to my remembrance. Let me get it pulled up.
Steak could soon be 3D printed. That's if you live in Europe. Israeli company Redefine Meat has struck a partnership with importer Geraldi Meats to drive European distribution of its new meat steak cuts. The startup is hoping to establish its products as an alternative to conventionally produced meat. Redefine Meat operates large-scale meat printers at its Rehovot headquarters south of Tel Aviv, as well as in a new factory in the Netherlands.
Can y'all hear it?
Yeah, con.
Okay, con. All right. I'm gonna play it back. Just want to make sure y'all.
South of Tel Aviv, as well as in a new factory in the Netherlands. Manager of the company's 3D printers project, Yaron Eshel, explains how it works.
When I want to create my state, I have a library of a few different slabs. I can choose each one of them and I can adjust it accordingly. I can define the amount of marbling, the internal fat or the external fat. And now I can scan it and I can start and go and print it and produce it. So I'm putting it, this is my queue, this is my timeline for today. I know that in an hour or something from now I will need to refill the machine with new material. But now I can go directly into the printing process and you can see how the process starts to build layer by layer.
The company makes its products from ingredients including soy and pea proteins, chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeasts, and coconut fat. Co-founder and chief executive Eshtar Ben Shitrit said Redefine Meat was launching tenderloin and strip-loin steaks.
In the past 2 years, we've been working deeply on
Hey,
Bro.
hey,
You
that's
see,
what it is, man.
and that's how you know that's the devil, man. Look at how much work and effort he's going through just to recreate something the Most High already created, man.
Yes,
Just to be rebellious, man. You got all these
Yeah.
scientists and researchers. How do we make our version of meat? Just because he wants to be rebellious against the Most
Well, hey, man, this is the precept. I got a precept here, man. This is the book of Genesis 1 and 29. It says, the giving of food. It says, and a power said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it should be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And the power saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. Okay, so how in the hell is Esau gonna come and try to do away with what the Most High already claimed that was good and perfected? And trying to depopulate that whole depopo agenda. For one thing, who are you to tell people that they need to be eradicated off the planet Earth when you're the devil?
Mm-hmm.
When you're the one that's causing unbalance to the planet Earth, man, and to the universe and so forth. Because then the Most High said, "Be fruitful and multiply."
Yeah.
So if the Most High said, "Be fruitful and multiply," that means that this Earth can hold an innumerable amount of people to some degree. Because what people don't understand, the Earth is a living organism, man. And the more you take care of it, the more it expands, it becomes healthy, it diversifies, man. So
Well,
8 billion people, 9 billion people, we ain't even a third of population. You can fit damn near the whole population in the eastern coast of the United States, and let alone Texas. You could probably fit
right,
the whole country in the state of Texas, man.
right. But as you say, this the devil we dealing with. He
Yeah.
wants if you want it, he wants it to where if you want anything in life, you got to go through him. And when he gives it to you, it's gonna be corrupted. It's gonna be abominable.
Yeah.
You see, going to the meats, the
Mhm.
fucking water, where you want to live. He say, you know what? If you want to live, you gotta come. You gotta come to the city and get a fucking apartment, man. He make it hard for you to live out in the country, you know.
Yeah.
Con.
God.
Precept.
Precept as well. It's like who
Yeah.
got a precept?
Who got a precept? You got a precept, you raw?
Yeah, con.
Yeah, bring it out.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition."
Yeah, you're gonna have these guys one body. I think then they stated that was Jake.
Yeah.
That's talking about Esau, man, being revealed, because you got to understand when that was written, you had a common knowledge that the Romans were in power. Okay, Paul understood that mystery of iniquity, that those Edomites was actually the Romans at that time. That's why it says he would be revealed at that time, because the Lord didn't want that particular prophecy to be revealed at that time, because it was for a later time for Esau to be pretty much exposed and set up, man. Okay, but this is the devil that we're talking about. This man is hey, they got what they call carbon footprint, man. You know, they're taxing the air you breathe, you know, emissions and so forth. They want to lock you up into these 15-minute smart cities, to the point they want you to ride a smart bike to Walmart,
Yeah, right.
you know. And if you pay attention to these inner cities, you notice that they got those bikes and those scooters. That's the start of it, because they want people to have the notion of convenience. And that's what this whole system is going to be about, convenience, man.
Con.
Okay.
It says,
Yeah,
verse 4, it says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is as God that sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God."
That's right.
yeah,
You know, and that's basically just to back you up on that point of how this guy, he just has to have his own version of everything, man. You know, he sees a random thing out in the heavens. Oh, I can explain it. He breaking out telescopes and coming up with words and naming shit. But really, it's just he just got to alt with the Most High's creation, man. Everything
Yeah.
the Lord created, he's got to take a version of it and twist it and pervert it, and then double the price on your ass. You know?
yeah. God, and make you miserable while doing it, man. Because this is a perfect lesson. Because I'm brother Uriah, you had mentioned this couple weeks ago at camp, man. You said the new bread and circus is gonna be VR goggles and a cockroach sandwich, man.
Yeah,
And this is what we going into.
yeah.
Man, since you said that, I literally been meaning to do a video on that, but hey, it's all coming together full circle now, man. This is really
We
the
sit
life
down
that we're
on it.
gonna get into. And you got the article lot, type in metaverse, because they go into the metaverse as well on there.
The same article.
Yeah, yeah.
Con.
Well, that was the concept of the Matrix. The Matrix is basically a whole metaverse set up, man. If you think
Right.
about it, because
Yeah. Kind.
think about the digital stimulation and so forth, when they had to rewrite the program and all that other stuff, everything is going to be linked up to this internet, this smart grid. Like we used to go into the Internet of Things heavy back in 2016, 2017, how they was going to start linking these particular algorithms up, you know, through this technocracy, which is this the fourth industrial revolution. And I got a precept. Hey, Shalom, Zaquan, how about you, Shabrakatah? There was that book of Joel. What is that? Joel 1:16. It says, "It's not the meat cut off before our eyes. Yea, joy and gladness from the house of our power." Right, man? Because this Edomite, he's come to destroy life, man.
Yeah,
Okay. He don't want any say so of the Lord's creation going forth unless he ordains it. But
yeah,
that's not in his power to ordain it, because he's not the most high.
yeah. Con. And the meat is cut off, man. We know that you up there burning these chicken farms down. You know what I'm saying? These meat packing facilities, you know, exploding and shit. And all of a sudden you got shortages on beef, poultry, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
these places are catching on fire. That's you cutting the meat off, man. For what? So you can create some rubber Play-Doh version
Yeah.
of this bullshit, man.
Yeah, that's why they got the price of chicken wings so high, man. Chicken wings has never been so high as it's been in years.
Right.
Oh shit! Did y'all see at Sam's Club, bro? For like I think it was like a couple of dozen of eggs. Them shits were $80, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice like the basic necessities that people are using, like eggs, water, bread, lunch meat. These things are the poultry shit. That's the highest thing, man.
Yes, yeah.
I went to Hy-Vee last week because they got the deals Monday through Thursday. If you brothers ever need to catch them deals, go Monday through Thursday. I mean, you get hella shit on sale. But bro, a carton of eggs there is $6.99, $7.99, man. And that's for the bear shit. Just 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago, I was getting 3 cartons of eggs for 67 cents at Hy-Vee, man. Because they throw them little deals out there, $1.67. Now fucking eggs is $7, $8, man. And I love eggs, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
eggs is one of the most healthiest things you can add to your diet, man.
yeah. God.
You know.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. You know, all these things that Esau's doing, man, really should piss you off, because this man, you know, not only has us oppressed, but he's got us oppressed to the point that, hey, look, I'm trying to enslave these people, not let them leave the country at all, let them go nowhere, and on top of that, I'm gonna force them to eat fucking bugs. I'm gonna force them to eat all this defiled bread. You know, and so you should want to beat the hell up out of this place, man.
Yeah.
And this is why we got to get delivered.
Why he's having all the extravagant, all the commodities of the earth. He has all the good food. Okay, he's not eating bugs. He's not gonna be put on a grid for carbon footprint. He's not gonna be walking around with a sea hip in him. You know, that's for basically the lord, the peons of the society, because that's what they do. It's the ultimate slave system. Like if you go back to the concept of the Greeks during the time of Antiochus, okay, it was pretty much the same one world government that's been attempted many times. But what did the Most High do? He raised up the Maccabees at that time. You go back into the Tower of Babel and Nimrod, what the Most High do? He sent the angels to confound the languages so they couldn't understand and diversify among their wickedness. That's why it's called Babel, because it means confusion, because the Lord mixed up the languages, man. You know, and the Lord is going to upset this new world order by sending Yahweh Shai back to pretty much destroy the mantle. And you can read about that in Daniel's the 7th chapter. But if y'all brothers ain't got a precept, I'm gonna read what Elder Yashawamba text here. This is Habakkuk 3:17. It says, although the fig tree should not blossom, neither shall the fruit be in the vines, the labor of the olive shall fail, and the field shall yield no meat, and the flock should be cut off from the fold, and there should be no herd in the stalls. Because hey, he's euthanizing everything. Like every freaking month, they was literally burning down processing plants. From 20, I believe it was from like 2020 all the way up until last year, and they may still be doing it. Sometimes 2 or 3 plants a day, they're constantly burning them down. And people, they're not crying out about this madness, man, because they're too fascinated with playoff weekend. They want to see world hip hop. They want to see the fucking Grammy Awards. You know, these people are just totally clueless as to what the hell is going on here. And let's not talk about Jake. Okay, Jake is not looking into these prophecies. Jake don't even know what a WEF is. They don't even know that there was a meeting at in Switzerland on that summit. What was it, Davos?
Yeah.
They don't even realize that they had a meeting to eradicate the majority of our nation, and the ones that do play ball, put them in perpetual slavery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that show you how lost these people are. That's why the Most High just got to take them out. He got to kill them because they serve no purpose.
Right. They don't know the after effects until it affects them in the hood, man. You got more on that precept you reading that?
Yep, 3:18. It says, and I will rejoice in the Lord, and I will joy in the God of my salvation. That's right, man. Because we're going to rejoice when these prophecies come to pass and when the Lord vindicate us. Because that's our hope, brothers. We have no hope, or no, like the scriptures say, we have no continuing city here. So we have no hope in this coming digital age because it does not benefit us. Okay. But they want to X out the Most High. They want to X out any type of memory that the Most High have put forth in the earth, from destroying the goods to his people.
Yeah.
Because even when you dealt with the jab, man, they had what's something called the VMAT gene, which is allegedly the God gene, which if you take the jab, you know, articles came out that that's supposed to deplete. It basically supposed to shut off your signal. It's like they come in and turn the Wi-Fi off. The Lord can't communicate with you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
because at the end of the day, you know, the elect are going to be the only natural men left.
Yeah.
This man wants to corrupt everything from the food to your own body to the air you breathe in.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and when Yahweh Shah looks down upon the earth, Lord, willing we be the elect in those times of trouble, as that precept God, we're going to rejoice in the Lord, regardless of how outcasts we're going to look by keeping ourselves natural. You know, I don't need no extra juice in me to prevent me from dying from a disease. And I damn sure don't need any cockroach burgers to feel hungry, man. You got that part in the article?
Yeah, bring that out. Bring that out.
So, like, I was just gonna say, I had that article that said California is responsible for 70% of total fruit and vegetable production.
Yeah,
so I'm just demonstrating how easy it is to cut off the olive tree in this place, because he's got it all. All your food gets trucked in from everywhere. It's really easy to choke and create a bottleneck in the supply chain, and you start having famines. But going back to that article, it says, how does the metaverse play into this? It says it's an extremely important part of their plans. Their long-term vision is that human beings live in large cities in small apartments or cubicles, consume a bug-based diet, and spend most of their day in a virtual world.
Right. Because that don't cost them that much money, man.
Yeah.
But it say they're gonna get everybody in the cities. That's why they buying up all this farmland. Motherfuckers out there in the country getting offered millions of dollars to sell their farms and basically get the fuck on.
Yeah.
Move your ass to the city. Because it's easier to control people when they all stacked up. Then you just form a perimeter and just lock them out.
Right. Yeah. Scripture say a man shall desire to be able to go into a city, and he shall not be able. Because I think they're gonna start siloing a lot of these cities out, man. These rural people that live out there. Look, you're gonna either come into the city or get stomped out, man.
Well, that's why it's going to be a civil war among the people, because these Edomites, they're rising up. They're getting ready to rise up against this government, man. When they looked at the whole January 6th, when that alleged or that staged insurrection, they did a polls. They said more than 50%. Matter of fact, I think more than 40 to 50% people stated that they're willing to revolt against the government because they see the tyranny, the tyrannical means that they're doing. Like the brother brought out the point, they're basically paying dollars on dollars for farmers to sell acres of land, because Gates bought up all his land out here. And when you come through the Midwest, it ain't shit but farms out here.
Right.
And he's purchased all that land up to build up these particular smart cities. Because even out there where you live at, bro, you remember it wasn't shit out there. Now they're building up everything, because they don't want any type of agricultural means. They don't want anything natural. They want everything basically computed or controlled or computer based, that they can have the say so they can shut you out, man. That's the whole concept of the CBDC. They stated that, look, even certain banks, or if certain platforms caught you talking against the government, your bank can fine you and say, well, look, man, you are in penalty or violation of this particular code because you said such and such.
Mm-hmm.
So here you be on YouTube speaking the truth, and all of a sudden Bank of America, they'll fine your ass $1,000, man, because you speaking out the system.
God.
Yeah, it's scary, man.
With precept, yeah. You can finish reading, but y'all brothers bring out the precepts too, man. Matter of fact, somebody give me the book of give me Isaiah 10, and whatever precepts y'all got, we could just let them roll.
Yeah, I got one. Oh, yeah, you got it, Yawsop. Salaki.
That's the spirit, yeah. Isaiah 10:1 says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievous which they have prescribed.
Right. Now, if Baba Kushah, are you looking at that on the phone, or you got the scriptures open?
I got it open on the phone.
Can you look up the New Living Translation version of that scripture?
Got you.
Because when you go into the New Living Translation, it goes into laws. A decree, like we mentioned earlier, and how we broke it down, it means a law. So when we went into the whole concept of fiat currency, basically that's being decreed by a government. Because we know that the United States dollar is backed by oil in the military. It's really the military that's backing the dollar. So they're going to go to war behind the shit regardless, which is a possible start to World War III, going nuclear, because once this digital infrastructure gets set up and the collapsing of these empires and the people that's still using the dollar, they're gonna lose a lot of wealth behind that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind. And this is nothing new. Like we've seen this in examples of evil governments prescribing evil rules. You know, you read in the book of the Daniel, everybody got to bow down to the statue. You go into the Apocrypha, everybody got to proclaim themselves as a Greek. But now here it is. Now they're gonna force people to take the MOTB and bow down to the image of the beast. Nothing new. Nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, idolatry basically. It's the big form of idolatry. You know.
Huh.
Yeah.
But go ahead, brother. You can bring that precept out.
I
This
can read.
is Isaiah 10:1 in the NLT. That says, "What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws."
Yep, unfair laws, because like the brother broke down earlier, you got different classifications. Now, when you read in that article, the elites of the society, they're not bound by those classifications. They don't have restrictions. They don't have a spending limit. The poor of that society, I believe, is category S. I believe they only get like $1,000 credit limit a month.
That's the elite. The elite is S, according to the
Yeah,
article.
that's the
Oh, so
Sabbath.
the elites are S. Okay,
Yeah, the elite
Salakia.
is S. The poorest ones, I believe, is C, and the one you don't want to be in is category Q, which is the quarantine category. That basically means you're a prisoner. You in quarantine camp somewhere.
Well,
Yeah,
that's probably us.
yeah. You got common. You got common. You got sovereign. You got restricted, and you got quarantine.
Mm.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
And which one deals with the $1,000 credit limit? You only get so much you can spend.
That's
WFC.
the common class.
The common
The
class,
common class get 100, get 1,000, and then the restricted they get a limit of 500.
500. So that's even worse than 1,000. And on top of that, you got mass inflation. But see, these are the means that they're gonna go to say, well, look, this is gonna control that. This is gonna control the inflation. This is gonna put everything back in proverbial balance. Because once
Mm-hmm.
famines hit the street of America, like they're already talking about particular foods that's not gonna be restocked. Once they run out of reserves, certain things are not gonna just go back on the shelves, and it's gonna be a high commodity for that. You know, like in Walmarts and so forth, like that, in particular grocery retailers, a lot of the foods you're seeing on the shelves right now, it's nothing more than recycled shit, or well, how can I say it?
Shit is about to expire.
Yeah, it's that, and basically they're just rotating stock. Like when you go to a particular store, if you ever worked in a grocery store, you go in the back warehouse, they got shit sitting back there for months, man. And when they run out, they'll bring it back. Truck may go get it from another store, or the super center or the distribution center may have 10 boxes or so forth that they know ain't nobody gonna buy, and they come and they put it on the shelf. But once those goods run out, they're not gonna restock that shit. They're gonna move something else there. You know?
And just for the sake for the camera, Baba Kashai, you're right. You mind reading the title of the article for the brothers and sisters that's tuning in?
Con. Let's see. The title is The Social Credit System, CSQR, SM, and U.
So basically, we've been going into, y'all been hearing us mentioning these classes, just so you know what you're referring to. They basically, they're going to come up with a social credit based system that's going to go along with the MOTB. Now, if you don't comply with any standards, if you don't have a certain amount of, juice in your body, if you don't have that, you're going to get a specific social based credit score, and it's going to put you into certain classes. And like the brothers was going into, you got class C, you got class R, you got class Q, or you got different categories. Most of the people are going to fall into class C, and that's when they actually complied a little bit. They took the jabs and so on and so forth. Basically, the ones that's in the truth that's resisting it, they're probably going to be put in class either R or Q, quarantine or restricted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you see a lot of that happening out there in China too. A lot of those Moabites out there, they're being pretty much just tarted off, man, because a lot of them are revolting against this new so-called variant that they're talking about.
Kind, in which that article spoke on, they expect that resistance. So, and at the end of the day, what the apostles always say is pressure from above, pressure from below. They gonna bring the pressure from above with that financial changes, and that pressure from below is that resistance that's gonna force them to squeeze more, man. Give more reason to exterminate more until it's a small number amount of people on the earth. That's the end goal of the elites. That's what they want.
Hegelian dialectus is what they call it. Yep.
Got another precept if y'all bros and have anything.
Yep,
Yeah, I
go ahead.
got one for you.
Fine. This bro actually posted it in a comment from Fear Yahweh. It says, let's put the second address 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You know, based off of all these restrictions, that's going to cause a complete revolt against the established order. You know, that's what it means by not regard their kings nor princes. The force of their actions is going to stand in their power. People are going to be losing their minds behind this shit, man. All of a sudden they wake up and the banks shut off your money and you're restricted to a separate account and you only got either $500 or $1,000 that you have access to based off the class that you're placed in. And they said that they can do this shit within 3 to 5 days. Imagine the numbers of millions of people that's going to lose their damn minds.
Well, he said it. He said you will own nothing and be happy about it, man. So, you know, as we call them cotton swab, that's what that whole WEF meeting was about. And we went into the whole concept too, that they only provide a certain amount of information to the public. Like, see what they had before the cameras, that was basically a ploy, just like an election. They give you the illusion of choice, but it's not there. These are these two systems as button heads, like the scriptures say that he spake as a lamb, but roughly paraphrasing it, but he had two horns
Spake as a dragon.
spake
Yeah.
as a dragon. And you go into the word dragon, it goes into Draco, which is draconian methods, man, which is grievous laws. So what they do outside of the camera, that's the real ordeal. And you better believe that they're mentioning talking points about the Hebrew Israelites. What can we do to get these men off the street? What can we do to censor their speech so we can get our new world order up and running? That's what they really talking about. You know, because come on, man, they swear in secrecy. You think they're gonna really let it be known in front of the public what they're doing? I mean, outside of sinister means, because digital currency to these people, oh, okay, that's a privilege. Oh shit, I'm a fucking robot now. Oh, I have more convenience. I can leave the house without my keys and not get locked out. That's music to these people's ears. You see what I'm saying? So that's not a really threat to them to hear that. But to us, we understand it because we're able to filter it. Like the scriptures say, the Lord God does nothing but reveal it to secrets and to the servants, the prophets, man. You know?
Appreciate.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 15. It says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. And, obviously we know that there's billions in this world that are counted fools just because they're not on the level, whether you a heathen or whether you an Israelite that don't have any knowledge of the truth. But for them to run and bow down and accept the system, that's a thought that's right in their own eyes, because it's going to preserve their life to what they think.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the full end of nuclear judgment, but say the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. And the counsel is being given out now.
That's right.
You got brothers that do lessons on the charagma weekly. The charagma is being warned about weekly. So if you're not going to hearken into that counsel, you're gonna fall into the snares of the devil. Yeah. But it says a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth his shame. He that speaketh truth showeth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. You see? So if you speak truth, that righteousness, you can't do nothing but show that. You can't help yourself. When you see pork, you turn it down. When you see wickedness, you want to rebuke that. When you see the MOTB, you say no to that.
Yeah. God, that's right.
It's a little bit more if you don't speak on it.
No, you got it.
It says Proverbs 12, verse 18. There is that speaketh Let me read verse 17. He that speaketh truth showeth forth his righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
See, these words of righteousness is going to be everlasting. This truth is going to make it through the New World Order. They'll never be able to stamp out this truth. They'll never be able to stamp out the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah at this point in prophecy. But it say, you got, go ahead.
Didn't it say that the Lord's words endure forever?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it says that this heaven, this earth should pass away, but my words endure forever, man. This is word eternal. The scripture say the words I speak to you are truth in the spirit.
Yep.
So when it stated that the words that we speak is healing, the tongue is a healing is because the words we speaking, they're building up the hopeful elect, and we're giving people the hopeful vindication through the Holy Spirit, so they can therefore research these words and hopefully the Lord deals with them so they can escape the judgment. Because in our tongue is health because we're speaking righteously, man. We're warning the flock about what's coming and to not take the MOTB and to not fall victim of Esau's traps, man. You know?
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 18 again. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. The lips of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. The same way the scriptures say Esau is but for a moment.
True.
The scriptures say that Esau gonna pass away like a dream. The same way the lying tongue is, but you're gonna have fools out here that go run into that. Verse 20. Proverbs 12, verse 20, deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but the counselors of peace is joy. And this is what we're going into. It's all deception.
Yeah.
You know, it's all a clue to get you to feed into something. But once you get into that something they want you to, you experience nothing but hell. Here you are, you know, you didn't bought into the social credit system. But every time you say shit, damn, or fuck, you done lost $15.
No, they showed you that in Demolition Man, bro. Remember
yeah, they showed you that black mirror too.
When the nigga was cursing this shit, man, it find him. He looked at it, he said, "What? Fuck you." Then it found him again, and then it did it a third time. They called the police on his ass, man. And then, I mean, they popped up within a minute, and then he turned around. He said, "Fuckers are fast too," and then it beat him again. So that's the type of he said this is a new world that's orchestrated by rogue sissies, man. He was talking about that guy Procto because he was basically like the cotton swab or like the moniker of the New World Order. Because remember the people that was living underground, they called them scraps. They was eating rat burgers and all that other shit because they didn't want to integrate with society, man. But you can't blame them because the people that lived underground in that movie, they wasn't coded. Another word of being coded in that movie was basically being sea-hipped. You know, like John Spartan, Sylvester Stallone. As soon as he got out the cryostasis, they coded his ass. But Simon Phoenix, they never coded him. He was never in their system. You know, so he was basically like a madman on the loose. Yeah, he represents the rebellion of that system, man.
Yeah, it's one more verse, brothers. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 20. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. It said, there shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief.
God, that's right. Yeah, brother, that movie was ahead of its time. If you really think about it, they showed you Siri, they showed you the iPad, man. They showed you all that shit. That movie was really before its time. I mean, you can watch Demolition Man and really think you in 2025 right now, man. That's how advanced it was.
God.
You know?
They showed you he's been thinking about this whole metaverse thing for a long ass time too.
Yeah,
just getting people plugged into something that's fake,
bro.
You know, where he can be basically the Most High in the metaverse. He can be because it's his left hand creation. You know, you get Jake that don't even know what's reality and not. You know, he'll start worshiping white Jesus again. Whatever Esau put on there.
Hey, niggas are flabbergasted over social media, bro. Just imagine when they put the metaverse on and with the fucking neural link in their mindset, you literally, Morpheus said it in the Matrix. When Neo was in his training simulation, And when he was training, he got hurt. And then he was like, I thought you said it wasn't real. He said, your mind makes it real. So he said, if I die in the Matrix, I die in real life. He said, hey,
Right,
the mind, the body can't live without the mind. So
right.
basically, that whole fucking thing of that neuroscience link and that metaverse shit, that's going to plug into people's reality, man.
Yeah.
And people are going to be so immersed in that alternate reality to the point they could just drop dead, man.
Yeah. You better watch that show on Netflix called Altered Carbon.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but they
Yeah.
basically was doing a version of that where you take your consciousness and download it on some disk.
Yep.
And then you basically, they can plug it into a body, they can upgrade you and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could basically just like live on and on and on, you know? And
well, that's how they deal with the whole cloning shit. They basically like if you really believe in that whole duplicating humans, like to clone a so-called human, of course you got to bring them up from a birth, but they got something now that they can basically switch your conscience into another body, man. It's crazy. On top of shit Esau has underground, because the real shit is underground. You know,
yeah.
This is nothing. The elites don't care about this. It's underground. That's where the real wickedness is at, man. You know, I got a precept real quick, Baba Kushal. This is the book of Job 20, and I'm gonna start at verses 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphant of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Going into the precept that the brother just read, man. Because Yahweh Shai said it, he said, for the elect's sake, those days were cut short. Because my thing is, how can you survive off artificial food? Okay, you microwave, you're growing food in a concrete lab, man. Boiling meat in bags and shit, when basically you're supposed to catch an animal and slaughter it and clean it and cook it and dispose the waste. You know, but now you got all these preservatives and foods. You got, man, I got a box of cereal on the refrigerator that's been up there for like 6 months and that shit still ain't stale, man. The fuck are we really eating?
Yeah. You see the video where niggas be showing the McDonald's get decomposed and that shit just don't change a year later.
Yeah.
The dollar menu, man.
Yeah, them fucking pickles still green as shit.
Fries and shit got salt on them, still crispy. And just imagine you putting that shit in your
wicked
body.
as hell, bro.
And it don't disintegrate. It that shit is in your body, man. Because when you eat that particular type of food, your body is like a registry. It cannot process that food out of your system. So what happens? It casts it over to the side, and it becomes toxins, man. And that's how your cancer is built up. It's like a computer virus almost. If your computer don't recognize this particular algorithm that you're putting in it, basically it's gonna basically shelve it, and it's gonna corrupt your files. And that's what happens when you eat this wicked ass food, man.
That's why fasting is good, because when you fast, your body try its best to clean all that stuff up in the time period that you're not eating all that leftover just plastic, bullshit,
Yep. And it
Can you read that verse again, Doc?
Khan, it says that the triumphant of the wicked is short and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
And we going into what the joy of the hypocrite is. The joy of the hypocrite is you having barely anything to survive, and as a curses say, going for going to the enemy for the one of all things.
Yep.
Being self-sustained, being a fucking entrepreneurial nigga, being a quote unquote hustling ass nigga, don't fly in this type of system. When the cash gets cut out and the crypto gets cut out, everybody gotta play by the rules of the so-called white man. There ain't no more under the table deals.
Nah. Like the elder said, he said you may be able to get away for a little bit, but eventually they gonna lock in. They gonna home in, and that's the whole point of all this filtering through these videos. They got it. This whole new freedom law, whatever they call it, when they decipher between who's speaking against the NWO and who's not. They're gonna home in on these videos, and they're gonna come up with certain task force to come out the brothers that's speaking his word, man. That's what's next, and that you better believe that was a big part of that discussion at that summit. That they was talking about how to censor the men of the Lord. Because with us, in a way, they can't successfully get this new world order up and running because this word is reaching. This word has went to the four corners of the earth, man. Everybody is waking up to it. Even those that's not in the truth per se, they have some type of knowledge now based on the internet and based on videos we're putting out. Because the average nigga now know about the Illuminati. Shit, you can ask the average nigga, hey, what is the Illuminati? He'll tell you all. And the music celebrities, they want to enslave people. The average nigga know they want to put C-hips in you. So what the hell wrong with you other Israelites out there?
Yeah.
Claiming prophets of the Lord, Yeah, you claim to be the most well-versed Bible thumping Jakes on the planet Earth, but yeah, you can't break down something as simple as a micro C hip, man.
Yep. Yep. For the
You
past 2
got,
weeks they can't. We had Edomites confirming that they knew about it.
bro, that's the spirit you mentioned that. Hey, we camped last week when the Edomite walked by. I said, do you think they want to put C hips in everybody? You say, yeah, it looks that way.
You said that, yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what I heard. It wasn't even a deep, it wasn't even an overly intellectual conversation, man. And then the week before that, what the devil say? When he saw the sign, he was like, hey, man, his wife said it. She said, hey, man, he's right up y'all alley. He talks about this stuff all the time. And this was a devil that had money, man. That got money, that he's probably a CEO of a corporation, has money on top of money. And he's like, look, I'm not bowing down to this shit. And them devils like that the well-to-do Edomites, hey, they gonna revolt because they got the means to do so, man.
And it don't matter what type of job you got right now. They don't give a shit. With this new credit system come out, they're gonna cap y'all people, man, because that article goes into it. I believe it's capping you to 1,000 or 1,500, depending on what class you placed in. If you're a little bit above class C, you got $1,000 cap. It don't matter unless you're in class S. You're finished. So you can try to be a doctor or a lawyer all you want. Your ass is still about to be placed in category C. Everybody's about to be making the same exact amount of money.
And here your ass, here rent, your fucking rent is $3,500 a month, and yet you adjusted to $1,000 credit, man. This ain't slavery, man.
Hey, all the mansions about to be gone, man. Them shit's gonna be vines growing up, raided down, bulldozed over. Y'all ain't gonna have none of that shit no more, man.
What else gonna be?
Esau just gonna come in. Like, look, don't worry about that. Here goes some VR goggles, man.
Yeah, put your goggles on, nigga.
Put your goggles on. Don't nothing to see here.
But a lot of those mansions too, though, is gonna be basically safe havens for military, because when they lock the cities down, the military, they're gonna set up certain garrisons in parts of the cities, like those mansions on Shawnee. What is that, War Parkway? I mean, a lot of those are rich elites in Kansas City. Of course, that's their houses, but they're gonna be occupied by military too. Because even when you look up the insurrection law, it goes into basically in a time of a crisis, the United States military, they can take control over your personal possessions, man. So,
and that's basically what this is, because it basically, when you look at it, it says you can't have $1,000 in your account at all at any given time, and you can't own more than 5,000 in assets. So you can't own a house, you can't really own a car. There's a lot of assets that's worth more than $5,000. And you can't have more than 1,000 in your account. So they basically, you basically don't have the means to make a living for yourself. I mean, he's taking the rest of it, man.
God.
You look at what he's gonna be doing, man. He ain't cutting out steak. He gonna be living it up.
Yeah. He ain't no 3D printed steak out. Precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
This Revelation chapter 13, verses. I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, "And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him?" And that's that deception. People are gonna really buy into this system the same way people bought into the juice. People said that you were anti-veer. People said that you hate life if you didn't want to get the juice. The same way now, man. If you ain't bound down to the Karama, if you ain't bound down to the social credit system, hey, they say you basically a dummy to them. Say they worship the dragon, which gave power to the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And we see the blasphemies that's happening now. Saying, no, you don't need to eat cows, you need to eat these maggots and shit. No, you don't need to operate without juice in your system. You need to show your V card. No, you don't need whatever finances. You need to have a C hip in your hand. That's blasphemy. And they're going to try to blaspheme the temple.
Well, they even said it here, man, even in a subcaption, because you know the dragon that goes into the Roman Empire. So it even say here, it says the beast includes the people of cultures of three previous empires, and it's the outgrowth of the Roman Empire itself. Okay, so they basically telling you is this is spearheaded by the modern day Roman Empire, because remember when it stated that that the deadly wound was healed, this is that same revival of that ancient system. You know, that's why you got these particular vassal states and so forth that's coming together as a conglomerate. And you can read about that in Revelation 17, chapter 2. But basically, man, this system, A, is responsible through the so-called white man of pushing his blasphemy towards the Most High. For one thing, A, cutting off the Lord's people. That's blasphemous in itself. Okay, crucifying the Son of Man. When you go into Revelation 13 and 17, it goes into that, how they're trying to X out the Messiah and set up a new Messiah, set up a particular God that's after their own doing, which is a form of idolatry or adultery, which is why the Most High is going to destroy you if you take the sea hit, man, because that's ultimately them putting a patent on you. Basically, the Most High created you, but they're not giving them credit, and they're taking that away, and then they putting a patent on you, just like they do with everything. There's many Jakes that came up with inventions and so forth. What do Esau do? He takes the invention and he puts a patent on it, and he makes money off of it, man. Same thing with this system. When he brands you with that mark, that's when basically you're going to be ownership of the devil, and the Most High can't do anything with you because basically, hey, you don't. The Most High don't own you at that point. Esau got you.
Yeah,
All right,
couple more verses are
go ahead.
Revelation 13, verse 7. It says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome him, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And this is the message that we are presenting to the body and people watching right now. The so-called white men, the elites of this earth, are about to make it fully known that they're waging war. All these actions that have been happening in the past couple of years, from the world shutdown, is leading up to war. World War III, Civil War II, everything about to happen at once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Con.
I got another precept if you don't got any more on that.
Oh, you got that.
It's the book of Isaiah 32 and 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil.
Mhm.
He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. So he's creating all this stuff, man, and ultimately it destroys everybody. But he doesn't care, and he comes after the poor as well. He's coming after Israelite Jakes with all these wicked devices, and he wants to take them out of the picture. Esau knows he's going down, and he's doing the best he can to try to wipe us out. And he definitely doesn't want to speak in these words.
God. Read that again, bro. Go read that verse again, bro. Read it again.
This is the book of Isaiah 32 and 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right.
Right, because what did he say about that seat? About that jab? They was promoting everybody to get it. First, they started with Jake. First, they said it came from China, a fucking gook bitch eating a damn bat suit. And then all of a sudden, now it's Jake's problem. Oh, well, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the biggest progenitor of the C19. How in the fuck is that even possible when I thought it come from a chick eating a goddamn bat wing, man? How the hell did it become Jake's problem? And then you dumb, silly Negroes, you went out there and you believed in that madness, and now look at you dropping dead from Marjo. I can't say it because they be on the prowl for medical misinfo, but we know what. Hey, the lady brought it out the other day. She said her 10-year-old son had a fucking heart attack, man. Yeah. So you people believed in the trolls of the devil, man, and you still believing in that. No matter how much information you like. I was talking to my mother a couple of weeks ago. She stated our chest was hurting for 2 weeks. I said, it's because you took the juice. She said, yeah, I believe that. But you think she's still going to take heed to what I'm saying? They scare us again and say, look, you got to take 3 more juice shots to have a fucking Chihuahua dog to run around your house. She'll get jabbed up to have a fucking dog running around the house, man. Because that's how simple-minded these people are.
Yeah.
So that's why we not out here to teach the 2/3 of Jake. We don't give a damn about you, man. This is for the elect and the elect only. If you can't receive this, then you can just beat it. Drink all the juice you want to drink. Go ahead. Have argue. Have at it. Shit, I'll double shot you, man. Drink it and be gone. Because you're not trying to hear us any goddamn way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the scriptures say, be not unequally yoked with unbelievers, because a person that's bowing down to that, he ain't really put the real test on you yet, and you already folded. That's because you don't believe. You know? That's because you don't believe. So we're not supposed to be yoked with y'all, even if that's a family member, you know?
Well, hey, you said it, brother. You said the real test haven't even come yet. It ain't even got hard. They just got jarred up by a few punk ass lockdowns and a couple of job threats. Hey, didn't the Lord say, hey, you have not resisted unto blood?
Well, yeah. God.
So
That's a heavy
this
scripture, man.
this new system that they're coming, it may seem to be, hey, we're gonna quote it again in Revelation. Hey, he spake as a dragon, though he had a horn as a lamb. Lamb are very docile and humble creatures. But hey, it says he spake as a dragon. When they establish the full throttle of this NWO, it's gonna be through bloodshed, man. This is why,
Right.
hey, brother, always say we got to step out on some serious faith, man. Because,
Right.
hey, honestly speaking, I mean, I know brothers have been in diverse situations and life had threatened, but I mean, have you ever had a platoon of troops surrounding you with guns pointed at you? Fuck no. You may shit your pants if you ain't got the spirit of the Lord on you, man. But see, that's the difference. The Lord is going to embolden us in that day. And
Right.
you got to meditate on these things, brothers, man. Get it through your mind. I meditate daily on when martial law going to kick this door in and put guns towards us, man. Or try to haul us to a FEMA camp where we on a run or we get spiritual power. I meditate on it all the time. You know why? Because we got to be prepared, man.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Go perfect.
Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 19, verses 4. It said, he that is hasty to give credit is light-minded. And the credit they giving to is this fucking system, man. Here you at niggas was hasty to give credit to the juice. Now you got motherfuckers getting cardiac arrest, dying suddenly. You was too hasty in making them moves. You wanted the club back open. Now here you is, 30 years old. You didn't got called to the spirit world out of nowhere, and y'all wondering why. But it said, he that is hasty to give credit is light-minded, and he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul. But it said, whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned, but he that resists his pleasures crowneth his life. Honestly, we already used to resisting wickedness, but you know, hey, it's gonna be times you're gonna have to resist the urge to eat, man. You're gonna have to resist the urge to drink all your water. You may just have one little jug of water to last you for a whole month. You just gotta sip on it and make it happen, man. But that's the sacrifice we make to keep ourselves unspotted from the world.
That's why you're gonna have to deny the flesh, man, because the whole comment of the New World Order is gonna play on the flesh. It's gonna play on your weak points, your fear. And that's where the real test began. But the scriptures say, those that kept the word of my patience, I will keep thee from what? The hour of temptation.
Right. Yeah, brothers with kids, you know, they may take your kids away because you don't want to play ball with the system. You got to be able to resist that and know that you fighting for a greater cause.
Well, you know what, brother? They can hide that little motherfucker. She's rebellious any goddamn way. Just talking, man.
Another way to get to you.
Yeah, but I got a precept, man. This is the book of Luke 17:33. It says, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it, man. Okay, and that's the point. A lot of Jake is gonna seek to preserve their life and their well-being, to just hold on to the Titanic. It's basically the Titanic. When it sank, you had people that was literally holding on to the guardrails of the ship, knowing they're getting ready to go in the water. Just jump in the fucking water, man. It's going down anyway. You know?
Yeah.
The people will sell them souls just to have 5 seconds of glamour and pleasure here. Oh, I want that last hit of a blunt, or I want that last shot of Remy.
Yeah. I want to fuck that man's wife one last time. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, them niggas, man.
Hey, and niggas die for the dumbest shit, man.
Right.
9 times out of 10, if a nigga ain't dying because he's sick, which that's the dumb, because Jake's diet is messed up. But mainly niggas die and get put in jail for the dumbest reasons, man. You know, I had a cousin, bro, that literally come to the house, car shot the fuck up. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? He said, man, all this shit is over a bitch, bro. I
Dang.
mean, bro, car looked like it was literally in a goddamn gun range. Don't you know how to when you go to the gun range and those targets,
Yeah.
that's how his car was shot up, man. I'm like, how you still even living? I mean, face. I mean, like, I'm like, bro, you must got an angel looking at you, Rose. I mean, he should have been dead.
Okay.
Oh, but just stupid stuff like that, Jake, get themselves into just wickedness like that, man. You know. But y'all brothers I got a couple precepts, man. We may not get to it tonight, but I had a couple precepts lined up. But y'all brothers bring out the last precepts and we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
We gonna have to go
I got
back
my
into
back.
hey, Lord's will when we link up again. Well, matter of fact, we could just go into the second half of this, like, cause there's so much on that. It's a lot on this lesson, man. So, hey, Lord's will, it can't just finish going into it if that's what the Spirit permits. Cause I definitely want to go into that whole article, man.
Yeah, it's a lot more on the article,
It's a
bro.
lot, bro. We'd be in the sit down for like 8 hours trying to go through all that. So, Lord's will, we can hit the rest of camp for real and really try to focus on it, home in on it. But bring out your last precepts and we're gonna close out.
Real quick one.
God.
Psalms 21 and 11. It says, "For they intended evil against thee, they imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform." And I just went straight to the point because ultimately, all of this evil, man. You see how sophisticated it is, metaverses and all of that shit, man. It really looks like this guy's gonna accomplish it, man. Like, without the interference of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who's gonna stop this guy, man? He's got drones, he's got satellites, he's got all kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the whole world fooled, thinking he's thinking one thing, but really it's the opposite. You know, it says, but that a mischievous device that they imagine, they say it's not gonna be. They're not gonna be able to perform it, man, because it's already written that they wouldn't, man. You know, so that's the important thing here is that as crazy as all of this shit sound, man, he's not gonna get away with it. You know.
Con. This is the clean light Litten. Hey, yeah, you're right. Wesley Snipes was the real hero of that movie. That's an excellent point. But this is Daniel 2:44. It says, "In the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which should never be destroyed, and the kingdom should not be left to other people, but it should break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it should stand forever." That's right. And that's talking about Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's kingdom that's going to be led by Yahweh Shai and the elect of Israel, man. Okay, that's gonna come and stump this NWO. Like a video came out today that this Edomite was basically stating that America is never gonna be destroyed in this lifetime or in 50 lifetimes. Well, yeah, brother, we'll see about that. You know, see about that, Jack.
Yeah.
You know,
Got
y'all
another
brothers got
precept.
something. Go ahead.
It's the book Ecclesiastes 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And that's something y'all fail to grasp, man, to heed that scripture, man. You guys trusted in the enemy, and these people will still continue, these wicked people will still continue to trust in this enemy all the way to the end, man. When the MOTB come out, they're gonna trust in this enemy. They trusted in the enemy with the damn juice, man. They're gonna trust in the enemy with the whole social credit system. They trust in the enemy with the metaverse. All this trust. I mean, when it comes to iron, when you go to the store, you buy your fresh cast iron skillet. It comes what they call seasoned. It's all shiny. It's good. It's clean. You know, it looks like nothing's wrong with it. But guess what? Leave it on your counter for a couple days. Let the moisture of the air hit it for a couple days. What happens? That rust always eventually shows.
That's right.
Yeah, this man can't help but to be the devil.
Because
He been trying to hold it down. He can't hide that urge no more.
Yeah, kind of. You can see it like in that Jeffrey Dahmer thing, man. He had moments where he like, I don't want to really be like this, but that's just how he was.
Yeah, Dad, something's wrong with me.
Yeah, he was trying to explain it like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but you know, hey.
Yeah.
Well, this is Sirach 21:2. It says flee. It says, damn. This is a good one too. It goes hand in hand because actually it's still relevant to it. This is what Jake really don't do. It says flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. That's the point I wanted to get. Okay, it says, for if thou comest near it, it will bite thee, and the teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion. slaying the souls of men. You know, going back to trusting your enemy, like the brother was going into. You know, you can't trust Esau, man. You know, but see the thing of Jake, these people, they don't know that Esau's an enemy. They just think that this is how things supposed to be. Going back into what is that wisdom? What is that wisdom of Solomon? The second chapter, when basically you go into the thought process of the wicked. It goes into how people basically this is just the way life is supposed to be, just by chance, because they don't understand. The scriptures say, and Yahweh Shai said it. He says, "Why thou speakest to them in parables?" He said, "Because it was given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of the Most High, but to them it was not given." So that's the reason why this world is blinded. This world is literally in the matrix. They're asleep. Morpheus said it. He said, "Look, man, these very people will fight. The people that we're trying to save will fight to keep the very system alive that's oppressing them." So he said, "You got to tread softly in the matrix, man. Yeah, you want to wake these people up, but we ain't reaching them yet. The 2/3 will come back in the kingdom. So these people that you're trying to go to, they're going to fight to stay in slavery, man, and they're going to look at you as a threat."
God.
You know?
God. I got one eye, and then brothers ain't got nothing else. It's Proverbs chapter 10, verse 2. It says, "Treasures of wickedness profited nothing, but the righteous delivered it from death." And as we're going into earlier in the lesson, the treasures that y'all about to receive is just numbers on the screen. This isn't nothing tangible that you can hold, and it's going to profit nothing, because at the end of the day, you're doing this to extend your lives in a society that has an expiration date. We do this work in hopes that we can get into a society that lasts forever. Because as Yahweh said, there's going to be brothers that don't even taste death. So they're going to make it through the NWO and still keep on living. So it say, "Treasures of wickedness profited nothing, but righteousness delivered from death. The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, will not suffer the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked." And you got to believe that, you know, because the warnings we giving out, this is really, it's really the Jake and the rest of the nations, because we know that they not gonna hearken. But those that truly believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahshua are hearing these warnings, are taking heed to these warnings, and applying themselves accordingly. But say, "The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. He becometh poor that dealeth with slack, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He that gathereth in the summer is a wise son, and he that sleepeth in the harvest is a son that causes shame. Blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot." So you see, we're living in a corrupted world. This is why Esau has to come with the new world order, because he has to get his last nut off, basically, man. This man knows that he has a short time. Revelation 12:12. That's why it's about to get harder and harder, and more evil and more evil. But Lord willing, we be the elect, we overcome.
That's right. Well, hey, precept. This is the book of 2nd Esdras 9, and I'm gonna start at verses 7. It says, "And everyone that should be saved and should be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation and my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning." So, hey, the Lord said that about us being preserved in that day. Okay, so you're gonna have men that's gonna coast right through this thing. Yeah, we're gonna have our afflictions, our trials, our tribulations. But you know, I like to tell brothers, as far as thinking negative, think about life, man. I mean, because Jacob's trouble, that's not for us. That's for the wickedness. Our hell is gonna come with the persecution, but we're gonna get delivered from that. So it's nothing to be afraid of, man. And really, we just gonna be spectators in a fucked up world. We're gonna be in the midst of it. We're gonna see it, but we just gonna be spectating, man. Right. Lord already got our path laid out, whether it's a martyr, whether it's close calls or X, Y, and Z. But regardless, we're gonna be delivered out of every scenario, man. And you gotta believe that. Jacob's trouble is not to fuck us up. No, that's just another stepping stone to get to the kingdom. Yeah, it's gonna get turbulent and the waters are gonna rise up. But remember, the 2/3, this is their purification. They gotta get purified too. Through death.
Majorly. And even in 30s, hell, man.
Yeah,
That's
because remember, we caught hell every time we've been reincarnated into the earth to be the prophets of the Lord. We've caught all types of hell. Why? Because Yahweh Shai wasn't here, you know. But now Yahweh Shai is coming back. Remember, he said, "If my this was my kingdom, my servants will fight." But he's coming to bring hell on this place, man. And hey, he's gonna raise up a standard if you believe that. So we ain't, hey, majority of us, we ain't gonna be touched, man. You may have close calls here and there, but majority of us, man, we gonna be straight.
Yeah.
You gotta believe that, man. I refuse to believe that the Lord is gonna let us get dealt with again and again and again. Like, we tired of taking L's, brother. Hey, let me throw a punch back or something. You know what I'm saying?
What it say? Affliction shall not arise a second time.
Second time, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, hey, brother. Hey, I hope to see every last one of y'all on the threshing floor, man. I said it last night in my prayer. I said, bro, I want this shit back in blood, man. It's deserving. I don't want nothing less than that. I'm like, if my only purpose in this truth is for the Lord to make me a battle axe, I'm with it. I'm cool with that, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up, man.
Yeah. I feel you on that, bro. And that's fair you say that, because when you say we not gonna we just gonna be spectators. The Lord has our role basically as a witness. When you think about it, a witness is not involved in the acts per se. We're just there to witness and to provide a testimony. You know?
Yeah.
And so all of the danger and stuff, when we get into the kingdom, we gonna have that firsthand testimony. You're gonna be like, yeah, we saw this go down, go this through down, and then we overcame. You know, it's gonna be a beautiful story, basically.
Yeah.
But we're all witnesses, man. You know?
God.
So that's very beautiful how you put that we just gonna be, it's gonna be like spectating a big crazy movie, man. Lord willing, we're of the elect, you know.
Yeah, that's why that Revelation says, I gave power to my two witnesses. You know, they were able to see that judgment. And it say, blessed is he that liveth to see the downfall of his enemies. You gotta outlast this motherfucker, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
All this fucking frustration, all this bullshit that they about to put on in the world. It's about outlasting this shit.
Enduring.
Right.
Enduring. All about endurance, man.
But even John Revelator saw at that sea of glass mingled with fire, man. That was to let us see, you know, have a witness of the downfall by the Lord curated that for us, man. A whole just grand finale scene, man. You know, that's how important that is.
What's the precept? Only with thine eyes shall I see the downfall of the wicked.
And what it tells you also, it says, rejoice, ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on earth.
You on earth. God. Yep.
God. So shit, man. Y'all brothers got anything else y'all want to bring out?
No.
Nah.
You good, brother?
Good, yep.
All right, Con. Well, hey, man, the water for the comments on the precept board, on the comment board.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. We're gonna have to do a part 2 to this, because this is a very deep lesson, man. So anyway, with that, we're gonna give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh. Want to get double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, noise in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. And with that, shalom, Lords, where you brothers and you few sisters that watch was edified to the next lesson. Shalom.
Shalom.
Bible ball.
Ball.